Alright, let's talk about something that's both fascinating and a bit of a head-scratcher in the world of sci-fi comedy. You know Morena Baccarin, right? The actress who's basically become the queen of alien roles, from Firefly to the V remake. But here's a fun fact, she starred in this little-known series called Home Invasion, and it's one of those shows that feels like it slipped through the cracks of streaming history. Personally, I think this is the kind of project that's perfect for a deep dive because it's a mix of great talent, an intriguing premise, and a whole lot of what-if. So Home Invasion is this 2021 sci-fi comedy where aliens try to take over Earth by posing as a normal family. Sounds like a recipe for hilarity, right? But here's the twist. The show was developed by Viaplay, a Swedish streamer that's mostly known in Nordic countries. And that's where things get interesting. Viaplay was trying to expand globally, including into the US, but let's just say it didn't exactly stick the landing. What makes this really interesting is how it highlights the challenges of breaking into new markets, especially when you're competing with giants like Netflix and Amazon Prime. It's like trying to throw a party in someone else's backyard, you need more than just a good guest list. Now let's talk about Morena Baccarin's role as Casie, the alien mastermind with a god complex. In my opinion, this character is peak Baccarin. She's always been great at playing characters with a mix of charm and menace, and Casie seems like the perfect vehicle for that. But here's the thing, the show only lasted 6 episodes, and it didn't exactly light up the ratings. It's got a 5.2 on IMDb, which, let's be honest, isn't great. But what many people don't realize is that sometimes these low-rated shows are worth a second look. They're often experiments, and experiments can be fascinating even if they don't succeed. One detail I find fascinating is the cast. Alongside Baccarin, you've got John Noble, who's a sci-fi legend thanks to Fringe. These are actors who know their way around genre material, so it's not like the show was lacking in talent. If you take a step back and think about it, the failure of Home Invasion raises a deeper question. Why do some shows with strong casts and interesting ideas just fizzle out? Is it marketing? Timing? Or maybe the premise just wasn't as universal as it seemed? From my perspective, Home Invasion is a case study in the risks of global streaming. Viaplay's attempt to branch out was bold, but it's clear they underestimated the competition. And now the show's available as an add-on on Amazon Prime, which feels like a last-ditch effort to find an audience. Personally, I think it's worth checking out if you're a fan of Baccarin, or just curious about what could have been. It's not a masterpiece, but it's a reminder that even the most promising ideas can get lost in the shuffle. What this really suggests is that the streaming landscape is brutal. With so many platforms and so much content, even shows with great potential can slip through the cracks. And that's a shame, because Home Invasion had all the ingredients for success, it just didn't come together. So here's my closing thought, maybe the real invasion we should be worried about isn't aliens taking over Earth, but the endless stream of content fighting for our attention. What do you think? Is Home Invasion worth a watch, or is it better left in the archives of streaming history? Let me know in the comments.